And I'm going to say hello and welcome to this brand new chapter in Of Dice and Destiny. Our home has officially moved now to the D&D Void, and all I can say is welcome to the D&D Void. This background that you're seeing is temporary. We are going to be replacing it with proper artwork soon. So watch this void and be prepared for yet more chaos that we are going to be bringing you. There will potentially be additional crew members joining us partway through. So this isn't the full crew at the moment. We have with us today Confused Tabaxi. That's your cue.
Hello. Sorry. Yes, hi.
We also have Killian, also known as Omega.
Hello.
We also have the wonderful Jamie, who is just known as Jamie as far as I'm aware.
Hello.
And we also have the wonderful Golden Ghost.
Hello.
I think that one took him a minute to realise I was talking to him. To them, sorry, my apologies. So, yes, this is all we have for the moment. We might have a Lou joining us a little bit later. But first of all, for those that are tuning in and are new to these events, feel free to post your questions. We are wanting them to be asked of our players and of the DM myself as well. And we welcome all and any questions in the live events chat in Discord or on either our YouTube or Twitch streams where we are currently live. So with the introductions over, and without any further ado, let's get on with the Fireside chat for Chapter 1. And I'm going to start with all of you today. Let's begin by just saying, first of all, when, to all of you, this is, by the way, when did your character stop treating the events that have happened to you like a weird shared dream and actually start treating it as real?
The silence is deafening.
It really is, and I wouldn't mind having that filled with some noise. Well volunteered, Jude.
I wasn't volunteering. Probably. I don't actually know. Maybe when we got to Ironstead, I want to say, and met Elizabeth. Yeah, I think that would probably be the kind of moment. Yeah, I don't know otherwise, but yeah, I'm going to say when we got to Ironstead.
Jess would just thinking they're just like, I never met this person before, and it's just like, wait, but if this was a dream, then it would be a face that I have seen before, but I don't think I've seen this before.
Yes, exactly.
Thinking.
Brilliant. Killian, obviously you know this world to be real, so I think we can skip over you on this one.
So I didn't
but
say anything. I can't answer this question.
I do have a slightly changed question for you, which is... I've got two questions for you now then. First of all, when will you tone down the swearing? Or is that just a part of your character? And the more serious question, which is, at what point do you think your character's brain is going to, or with your character and its intelligence, powers of deduction, whatever the case is, what point are you going to actually realise that yes, they are from a completely different plane or world of existence?
Oh, this is the type of question. Oh, you. That is a pretty good question. I mean, he's been slapped in the face with it a few times now. You guys did tell him straight up that you guys are from a different world.
We did do that.
That's not fully caught up yet to him. That's still... They're just weird. Maybe a little crazy.
What?
In fairness, we were drunk.
That is very true. That is very true. I do think it's going to be probably in the next few days seeing mannerisms and their god's weird tent setup. These guys really aren't from here.
There's nothing wrong with the tents.
Yeah, no. There's nothing wrong with the tents except Aspen's, but we'll get to that question a little bit later. So going back to the very beginning of this campaign for your characters then, do you remember or recall, and how many of you took notes? This is really going to be the tell. Do you remember or recall the tunnels that you all travelled through and the visions that you had as you were travelling to Albion from Earth?
Yes. I personally
Yes.
Vaguely.
Okay. How do you think that vision so far throughout chapter 1 of this story has played into or shaped your character in any way? Let's start with Tom on this question.
Yeah, I feel like starting off with me is a pretty good idea considering the kind of area that we're in at the moment. Again, most of the stuff with Chris and with that kind of vision that they had when they were heading into Albion, it's all kind of coming up now after they've had the kind of process of arriving into Ironstead and then leaving and immediately getting thrown into just this deep piece of nature foresty area, which was very reminiscent of that kind of feel that they had through that tunnel kind of thing. It's kind of just, it's almost in their heads. It's almost like subconscious. They are definitely not realizing it actively, but it's almost kind of throwing them into that same kind of mindset where it's just thinking more about the world around them and thinking more about everything that is going on and kind of keying into those kind of key points of nature.
Nice. That does bring me to the next question, which is those key points of nature, actually. So one of the things that you learned in the last session was that you can actually change shape. You can change into various animals.
They turned into a bear.
Yes, you did. A brown bear, I believe.
Yes.
How did that make you feel? I mean, obviously, the very first transformation is always going to be the worst in terms of pain and all the rest of it and the shock of it happening. But how did that sort of make you feel as a character, and how do you think that's going to affect your character moving forwards?
I think it's gonna kind of change their kind of outlook on how this world works, and just how they're going to kind of fit into everything. Like, because I feel like they've kind of almost been they felt like a slight bit ousted in terms of like the way that everyone had seemed to be more settling in more, especially like looking at Steve and all that, and how quickly he's kind of I'm a wizard, but Chris is kind of like getting that kind of understanding of, oh,
Yeah.
maybe there is some stuff I can do.
Yeah, fair enough. That brings me on to things and stuff that you can do. But I'm going to turn this question over to Jamie. So, your character, when you came through the tunnel, you had the experience of shouldering the burden, essentially, is how you described it in one of the previous Fireside chats that we've had. How do you feel that tunnel event now, having gone through the first chapter, has affected your character in, and has it shaped your character in any way? And onto the second part of the question is, how do you feel the rage incidents that you've had, how has that brought that element of your character into being? Do you see any
I
link between
think
them?
I think Aspen's probably taking it more as a like less of a shouldering the burden, but more of a I guess a supporting role, because obviously she's seen that everyone can kind of hold their own in some instances, but obviously she's realised that she can kind of thunder forward and she can take more of like brunt force than like Steve, for example. Probably can't take as many like hits or scratches or whatever as she can. So I think she's probably using it that way more than like I have to fight everything, more of I want to support everyone and like where I can take the brunt force of it. And the rage instances, I think she's probably more surprised that there are so many like misogynistic men in this world. Like, obviously the real world is still terrible for it, but the fact that she's seen what other people in this world can do and there are still men who are like, oh, you're just a little girl. She's probably just like,
I'd like to challenge that. So let's look at the arm wrestling scene where the alleged gentleman at the carnival was on the verge of being beaten and he attempted to cheat. This is what I want to challenge your viewpoint on. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong and I'm not saying you're right, but was that just carny folk cheating at a supposedly fair game? Or was that, or do you think there was an element there of he's a man and he doesn't accept the fact that he's being beaten by a woman? From your character's perspective.
She'd probably see it as a mix of both, like coming from the real world where I think we've discussed this, her job is like as a bouncer at a club. I'm sure she's seen her fair share of men trying to worm their way in and like get the better of like maybe they're angry and they just want to get into somewhere, but the bouncer's like, you're not coming in. So they try and again cheat the system. But also because she's a woman, they kind of take that and they use that to their advantage. So it's a little bit of both, I think. But yeah.
Okay, fair. I mean, I can answer this question. He was just carny folk. He wasn't thinking anything of misogynistic or anything of that nature. He was just carny folk, and it was a case of, I can't afford to lose this pot. I'm going to try and cheat. Not realizing that the carny folk didn't realize, obviously, that you were a barbarian in nature.
She's 6 foot something, big arms. Like, you got to do what you got to do, really. I get it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's fair. Let's move on to a question. Talking of you got to do what you got to do. Confused Tabaxi, aka Jess.
Yes.
Well, you've got to do what you've got to do, haven't you? So is that going back to Razorback's Alley in the early sessions? Is that something that you were kind of like thinking at the time, or if you look back now on your character as they're slowly developing, do you think that was more instinct and fight or flight, or was that precision strike, as it were?
Absolutely fight or flight. It was self-defense, kill or be killed in her mind, and we can't carry knives in the real world, but in the real world she would have probably been used to kind of having awareness of kind of how to defend herself against any patients that might be slightly angry or violent and things like that. So she would have already kind of been aware of that, I think. So in her mind it was just like, oh, I have this knife, I'm just gonna and I think it was the luck of the dice, to be fair. I like getting a crit was like not, I was hoping, maybe enough to just do a little bit of damage, but then to get a crit, and I was like, okay, fine, we'll roll with this. So it wasn't intentional, it was the dice.
Fair enough. So, speaking of dice, and this goes to the whole table here now. When we first started this campaign, there was the obsidian dice that appeared to you all over the table where you were playing the original game of Dice and Destiny, which was being DM'd by our wonderful Tom, playing Chris. What in the similar vein to the obsidian dice, do you all think that was a prophecy, or do you think that was a warning? And how are your characters interpreting the events before you were isekai'd into Albion?
Before the isekai, just 100% thought Steve had picked the wrong kind of mushroom. Absolutely, 100%. I was 100% convinced for a long while after that, until I think the next day when she woke up and she realized, oh no, crap, we are in this this strange new place. She was convinced it was everyone was hallucinating and tripping out on mushrooms.
Okay.
But now I don't know.
Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, I think Aspen probably went the same way. I feel like she was with the mushroom route for quite a while, and then magic and stuff started happening, so it feels a little bit more like it's probably not that. I think she's made some kind of tie with the obsidian dice and obviously the like shrapnel that we're finding now. But I don't know if she's 100% like figured out what that is. I think she's figured out that the two are probably linked in some way.
Potentially, who knows? And we'll come to that question in a moment. So I will circle back to that. Tom, how's Chris feeling about the obsidian dice that you originally saw and the events that have occurred since?
They honestly, they feel like they are partially responsible. Just a bit.
Poor Chris.
Because of course they were DMing that whole thing. They feel like they were partially responsible, and I think it has also not helped that they seem to be almost like the least prepared in this world out of everyone. Like they almost feel like it was just like, oh man, I got us into this mess and I'm kind of useless here. This is really great for me, you guys.
Yeah.
But
Fair.
they haven't even, I don't think that they have properly thought about the kind of full ominousness that came with the kind of obsidian dice and all of the kind of suspense that has led them up to the point that they are at the moment, because they have been kind of caught in their own head quite a bit about everything that's been going on and how they kind of put a lot of that on themselves.
Fair enough. And for you, Killian, the question is once again slightly altered. So the adventurers had the obsidian dice. You had a sword that in your dreams became encrusted in obsidian and demanded blood.
Mm-hmm.
Curse, warning, prophecy, what do you make of it?
For me, speaking from two different things, what he thinks right now is curse. He's picked up this sword. He's picked up this sword again, and it's now telling him to encrusting in obsidian and telling him to give blood. Cursed. Me, warning. There's going to be some sense of sacrifice that is going to be put into this.
Oof. Who do you think the sacrifice is? Just as a player, not as your character. Who do you think the sacrifice might be?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I think it might be Chris.
Yay! I'm a sacrifice! No! Not Chris!
Oh dear.
Chris was the DM for that game. I think it might have to be Chris that is going to have to sacrifice.
Wow. So, circling back on the topic that Jamie touched on a few moments ago, do you want to just remind me what you said a moment ago, though?
That the original obsidian dice may be linked to the shrapnel obsidian shards that we're finding at the moment.
That's correct. So, with that in mind, do you have any theories? I know after the game session last week you were discussing a few amongst yourselves afterwards, of which I'm not going to say anything. They could be perfectly valid, or they could be misleading. But what theories do you all at the table have at the moment currently regarding these obsidian shards that the two that you've found so far?
I think there was a thought of maybe we have to collect a certain amount of them. I think.
I don't think we know that. Yeah, I don't think we know that Aspen's got one yet, because I think you cut before
No.
she actually came out to tell us.
Yeah,
You ended it there.
I was on my watch, I think.
Yeah, it was on your watch that you found it, and that was
Mhm.
going to be the last watch of the night.
Mhm.
So, yeah. But for the rest of you, the one shard that you've got, what do you all think at the moment? So that you've got to collect like 20 of them and build the obsidian dice to get back, or
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
that
gonna
would
be exactly that simple.
Sounds plausible, but I think at the moment Jess doesn't know, just thinks it's an obsidian scale that we found. So, yeah, not sure at present for Jess. But as a player, yeah.
So I think from the description I gave, I said it was glass-like black obsidian stone that had a slightly concaved shape to it when you picked it up, and looked eerily similar to a dragon scale. And the reason why I'm re-quoting my description of it is because Jude said scale just now. Do you have any alternate theories? Or does your character or you have any alternate theories, Jess?
My character, no. Me? Dragons. That's it. No. No, I don't have any theories. I'm not a bard, so I'm not going to say seduce a dragon. Maybe find a dragon and reunite the dragon scales with the dragon, and then the dragon. I don't know. I'm being silly.
Like ending story style. He flies us home and we get out.
Yeah, or breath weapon on us to kill us in this world to basically put us back in our world.
Yeah, there's that too.
I guess your characters will find out what happens if they die at some point, if one of you dies. I hope that doesn't happen, and I do hope that you can all somehow find a way back home. However, what I will say is my next question, and that is, when you got into Ironstead, which was where chapter 1 of this story was based, one of the key figures that you met one of the key locations that you were sort of coming out from and had a lot of interaction with was the Azure Watch. How do your characters feel about the Azure Watch now compared to when you first met them?
Chris thinks they're alright because they think that Osiris is alright. Is the long and short of it.
Jess
He knows
still
all the
doesn't
tricks.
trust them, but she'll give them props for giving her weapons and training, so they can't be all bad, but she's still not 100% certain on them.
Okay. Jamie?
Yeah. That was a weird voice crack. Yeah, probably probably something about the same, where like I wouldn't wanna like trust them with my life, but I'm not gonna like I don't think they're gonna turn around and try and kill us, so they're chill for now.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Gillian, you were contracted by the Azure Watch. and you would know
Mhm.
you know a bit about the history of the place and all the rest of it. I believe I sent you the information. I hope you read through it.
Mhm.
Um, did you? There's question one. Did you?
Did I? I've read through a bit of it, got stopped halfway through it to do other stuff, and have not been able to pick it up since because coursework sucks.
Fair. So, with the bit of it that you have read so far, what I would like to ask is, as you were contracted into and by the Azure Watch to complete a mission, what are your character's thoughts of the Azure Watch as a whole, compared to what you know of the rest of Albion, where the Crimson Cloak Syndicate has infiltrated and basically got their claws into various towns, cities, and is slowly corrupting politicians to try and take control of Albion as a whole. What's your opinions on the fight and the corruption that they've managed to rid, except for a few small pockets here and there, but managed to rid out of Einstead? What's your opinion on the Azure Watch there? As a character.
As a character, his opinion on the Azure Watch definitely is. He is wary because of obviously this the syndicate and and the corruption that's going around. They've fought before, and he trusts the watch.
Yeah.
The watch has not treated him badly. He's still very wary of this whole corruption aspect because people's hearts can change dependent on certain situations.
Yeah.
So he's very. I like these guys. These guys are cool, but
When's it going to break down is what your character's trying to work out. When's it going to break down? Who's going to manage to get their claws into corrupt and essentially bring the chaos of the Crimson Cloak back into Ironstead? Do you as a party who have played in the Azure Watch as well as this first chapter, so mainly Tom and Jamie on this one, do you feel that the Azure Watch has a good chance of standing firm from what you've seen in this campaign compared to the prelude to this campaign?
Well, actually, I was the only one who wasn't.
Oh yeah, that's true. Sorry, Jamie. I apologise.
I wondered why I was so confused. So
I was thinking of Lou, wishing Lou was here.
Yeah.
Ah dear.
So, what was the question again? Because I was just a bit.
Compared to the prelude and the actions taken by the founders, of which one was your character back then, how do you feel that the Watch is standing in Ironstead in Chapter 1? Knowing what you know of the history of the Azure Watch and how it was founded and what occurred for them to gain this status in the city.
I think the Azure Watch is doing what they set out to do. Which I think is good for them. I think it's good for the city, and I think it's good that I think the way that the Azure Watch is working is, I think it's working well for what the city needs, especially when it's still in the time of kind of repairing after everything that happened with the Crimson Cloak Syndicate. And I think that the Azure Watch as it is now is kind of working for what the city needs right at this moment. Whether it'll continue to be what the city needs further on down the line, yet to be seen. But the way that the Azure Watch works, I'm sure it listens to the people as well. It's not like the whole place is it'll like going to become another potential like police state like it was in danger of becoming with the syndicate.
Fair. So, in terms of the As You Watch and in the current chapter and what they had your characters all doing, would you say what do you think the Watch actually wanted from you as a party? Do you think they wanted your help? Do you think they perhaps maybe make scapegoats of you if it all went tits up, or do you think the Watch fills your all assets now because of it going well?
I think that that potentially it was a mission that we could reliably be used as scapegoats for, if we managed to do it. If we managed to do the things that were asked of us, then it's just like cool. We've given them information. We can be used for I don't know, whatever else. But the main thing is that getting the information. And also used to kind of scope us out because we've kind of arrived, and obviously Elizabeth is an informant for them. And
Yes, she was.
Elizabeth is an informant for the Watch. And the fact that we've all just kind of suddenly arrived here as a group, I think that the main thing of sending us out was almost okay, but what are they actually doing here? How do they work? What's the kind of deal with them? And then kind of deciding what to do with us afterwards, depending on our behavior on the actual thing that they sent us out on.
Fair enough. Killian, as you were the contractor for the As You Watch and the Insider, had that been your had that actually been your mission to find out how this group worked? What would your analysis have been? And what would have been in your report?
Oh, that's a... the first part of the report would have been about the individuals first. So talking about everyone by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Weird for a lot of them because they talk in weird mannerisms. They pull things out of nowhere that don't make sense.
Yeah.
And have devices that make no sense to him.
As demonstrated at the tea party. I'm sorry, that's all I could call it, Jess.
That's fine.
But yeah, carry on, sorry.
Oh, good. His report would have mainly been they're trustworthy, chaotic, can get work done if put to the task of it.
Yeah.
And side notes, prepare for weirdness. Boldly written.
Brilliant. So the next question is, if you lot for whatever reason ended up going back to Ironstead and you started speaking to the Watch again, you accidentally dropped the fact that you found these obsidian shards and the Watch asked you to hand the obsidian over. Who says yes, and who would say over my dead body?
Chris would not have either of those reactions. Chris would say no and then expect them to give them a hell of a good reason.
Jess would keep quiet and wouldn't tell them they'd found anything.
I mean, that's a fair response. Jamie?
Sorry, I'm sneezing.
Yeah, I think Aspen would probably have that over my dead body response.
And what about Killian? What would Osiris do? Can you change your character's name to Killian? I keep getting it confused. Please don't.
Sorry, guys, I've just popped into the world. You know how it is. Ooh. He trusts the party, and if they need it, and the watch is asking or saying hand it over to them for no reason over my dead body.
Fair enough. And I think just to sum up this part of the round of questions, of all of you in the chat, which NPCs that you've met so far has stood out most to you? I don't think Osiris has met too many, but you've met a few.
Yeah.
Let me check my notes.
This is where we go back.
Say that again, Jamie.
I do not remember anyone's names. I like Elizabeth. She's cool. She's gay of some description, so she's my safe answer.
Gaston, the elf we first met when we first arrived. I don't know why, but Gaston from Chesterton.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes.
Something more about him.
Uh-huh.
No, I quite like Elizabeth as well. She's multifaceted, which I think is cool. I like characters who have a bit more personality to them and a lot of reasoning for what they do.
Yeah. Oh, fair.
And it's also really, really interesting that she has also heard of other people coming from our world.
Fair enough. That just leaves you to answer, Killian.
Not that I've met that many NPCs yet. That I will honestly also go with Elizabeth because she is one interesting person.
Mm.
That woman knows so much.
She does. She genuinely does.
She's got some dirt on everyone in that goddamn city.
Well, she's got her ears open and her ears and eyes open to her surroundings, and she, in the previous prelude, actually, she was one of the safe houses for the drop-off, or alleged safe houses as a drop-off point for the Crimson Cloak, but she was actually working near enough. She was working for the Azure Watch, and Nyx, the little street urchin, when the campaign came round, was using Elizabeth's generosity to gather the intel for the Azure Watch and take it back in a rather unsuspecting manner, playing a naive young street urchin. And so Elizabeth knows quite a bit about the political landscape and the goings on that happened. But in terms of moving forwards, do you think she'll have that much more involvement with the Azure Watch? Or do you think it'll be she's got her stories that she can tell now, about what's happened, and now she just wants to move on and have that quieter life being a seamstress.
Hmm. I'd say she wants to have that quieter life.
What does Tom think?
I really think that she, as much as she would really like to, probably live more of that kind of quiet life, I feel like, number one, she's been dragged into it far too many times. And second of all, I feel like the kind of person that she is, she always has that slight bit of curiosity about new things.
Yes, she
So she
definitely
would
does.
always dig her nose in a little bit and then end up getting some information which she either probably shouldn't have, or she would be like, well, I should probably pass this on to someone at least. And then keep getting involved that way.
Fair. That's a fair comment. But yeah, Elizabeth is very much the old informant that was basically running essentially a information collection point. So a lot of information went through those walls and through her. From what she read of ledgers and letters and all sorts that came through, and every last little bit of it was passed on to the Azure Watch. And to an extent, there's still a. You're absolutely right. There is still that curiosity with her to just learn about what's going on, you know. But it's getting to a point where, because of how she now pretty much supplies the Azure Watch with their uniforms and things like that, there is that her business is picking up now and still got that connection there. So, I mean, one of the people that came in to get some clothing repaired from her was, what was his name? Brock, I believe. His name was, who was one of the founders of the Azure Watch in the first Prelude campaign. So, yeah, there is that element to her. So, watch this space. If you ever come back, or if she ever has to travel, you might bump into her again. Who knows? So, with that, let's move on to the next part. Jamie!
Hello.
So, going back to the library and the conspiracy board, do you remember that with the red threads?
Vaguely, yes.
So, this is in regards to the current Council of Seven, and the various sort of clues that you were given on there, and the capturing essentially of Varshoven overall. Varshoven was just one of those many red threads that was on the board. Do you think that you'll find the others or come across them, or is this one big ball of conspiracy that Jamie would want to leave alone, that your character would want to leave alone?
Oh God, I'm pressing buttons. I think she's probably intrigued to find out more. Like, she's seen the names and the thread, and she probably does want to know where it leads. I don't know if she'd want to go full conspiracy theorist, we have to drop everything and we must follow this and only this route. But I think she'd probably at some point want to, like, if something crops up that sounds like it's that, she'd probably want to explore it.
That's quite fair. Who, Jamie, then, in our current party that's playing do you think is most likely to be tempted by a power game, even if they deny it?
Ooh. I feel like, I mean, he's not here to defend himself, but I feel like Steve maybe feels a little bit like, oh, I've got some spells and I'm going to just do all of them. I feel like he's going to have that kind of power trip moment where,
Yeah,
I don't know, he gets Fireball and that's it for everyone.
Yeah.
I agree.
Fireball, but it's only a 10-foot wide corridor.
Exactly, that's it. That's how we all die.
I don't know how big the room is. I said I cast Fireball.
Oh dear. Fair enough. If you were approached by members of the Council of Seven, be they from the corrupt side or from the non-corrupt side that you've seen on that conspiracy board, bearing in mind that the council's been replaced and they're now no longer corrupted in Ironstead at least. But if you were approached by anyone from that conspiracy board, as it were, that was on the corrupt side, and they were to offer you a way home, but for a price, would your characters hear them out?
No,
No.
not
Probably not.
Interesting. Interesting. I'll have to take a note of that. So,
Oh no.
going back to the library and that conspiracy board and what have you, if all of you had now 1 hour alone in that library, what would each of you be researching?
Ooh.
Survival techniques.
All right.
She's a creature of comfort. She doesn't like roughing it. Now she has to rough it, so she'd want to try and find some survival techniques to make, this more tolerable.
Like being able to bend leaves to actually form a roof, that sort of thing, rather than a bit of tarp or what have you. So, yeah, no, fair.
Hey,
Yeah.
while we have access to the top works well.
Yes.
We don't need to make do with leaves when we have a top. We have better resources.
For the moment.
technology.
Although one of you doesn't, and one of you doesn't have a ground sheet anymore, at least, anyway. But we'll get to that. What about the rest of you? What would you research in the library?
Ooh. I'm going to wait to answer. I'm ready for these.
Maybe, I mean, Aspen's already obviously, like, her main focus was the conspiracy board, so maybe she'd try and look into the people on the conspiracy board.
That's a fair answer. You'd probably find a little bit of information in
Yeah, I
that
can pester
library,
the librarian
definitely.
more if I need to.
In fact, I've actually got the shelf row and the shelf columns and rows and details all written down. Honestly,
As well-
reading it, it looks like a chessboard. When you see, if
As
you
much
saw the
as I
notes on
would-
it. Sorry, Tom?
As much as I would despise the subject, Chris would probably look at books that would talk about like the land and how it's kind of laid out and where places and countries and islands and different things are.
Yeah.
Just so they know how different it is. And
Yeah.
roundabout which directions they can go.
That's fair.
By God, they hate geography. Because I'm projecting, I hate geography.
Yeah, same. Agreed.
Homie said
Oh
geography.
God, we've got
I love geography.
No.
Get off.
Nah,
Sorry, the
get
cat.
out of here.
cat on a laptop, never good. But did we actually get an answer from you, Omega?
Nope. Talking about different worlds. If there's something like that in the library. Plane
Fair.
travel.
Yeah, alternate planes and things like that. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's very, very fair. Would you consider the fairy tale section?
Possibly. Depending on how desperate you get.
Because one of the things in one of my favorite things to do is something that quite a few video games have done very well recently, actually, and that is things like allegories and such. So you might be surprised by some of the things you may find in folk tales and legends and fairy tales and things like that in your travels. So there's a freebie for you all. I'm not that bad a DMC.
Alright, guys, write every single thing down that any NPC says about lore. Got it.
Write it down.
I already
write it
do.
down.
I already do.
Yeah,
I have extensive notes.
indeed. Jude's journal's filling up fast. So with that, I guess the next question is going to be for Chauvin. So after you all met at the carnival and you had your fun and you managed to essentially capture and deliver Chauvin very, very cleanly, what are your characters thinking regarding the job? If Steve was here, he'd be saying, "I can't believe the charm person worked." Or no, he was told it actually failed at the end, but the reasoning and why Chauvin played along. So,
Yes.
but what are your thoughts on all of this having been performed so cleanly?
Suspicious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's
Mm.
Definitely some suspicion. Like, just how connected is this guy to everything into the Azure Watch as well? And just how much resources does the Azure Watch have access to train people? But anyway, yeah, it's mainly suspicion. It's just like knowing that was far too easy, and then also being surprised that they could talk to a horse. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, there were some distractions during that, wasn't there? But those distractions worked out in your favour.
Mm-hmm.
So, would you all say that the carnival itself was a bit of a breather, or would you say that it was the campaign showing you that Albion will always try and distract you before it bites? What's all of your takeaways from that event?
Investigate everything they have. Don't leave out dirt.
I think that it kind of teaches you almost like the whole quiet before the storm kind of mentality, or whether like, okay, it's relaxing, it's okay, it's relaxed at the moment, but you can't always rely on it always being that way.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And especially if it's too quiet, then something is most definitely wrong.
Fair enough. After you finished at the carnival and you sat around and you gave your report what happened to to Brackathorn, whilst at the Azure Watch afterwards, we're in Varshoven's company, I might add. You pulled out what was essentially completely foreign, out of this world, and alien bits and pieces in front of not just Omega, not just Osiris, but in front of Brackathorn and Varshoven. They were all kind of silent and sat there with a bit of curiosity, a bit of shock, and absolute confusion over what you were all doing. And yes, I am including Osiris in that one because that was clear. What do you think that show of things like the gas burner and the collapsible kettle, what do you think that show showed those players, those NPCs, and Killian's character?
That this is way out of their pay grade.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
And that they should leave us alone.
It's all Jess's fault. It's all Jess's fault. She doesn't, for someone so intelligent, she doesn't really think.
She's book smart, not street smart.
Yeah, she's book smart and not street smart. And if you've ever met like a psychologist or had like a therapist in person, you know they're quite, what's the word? I don't want to say unemotional. We tend to be quite unemotional, quite pragmatic maybe, and like logical. But when it comes to kind of, I don't know,
More
They
they don't seem
analytical.
human.
Chris is almost
Yeah.
like
Analytical, yeah.
Chris is street smart and not book smart. Like Chris has a high intelligence, but they're also just dumb as rocks.
Jess is the other way around. She's book smart. She's not very street smart, I would say.
Yeah.
But I think she hides a lot of it. Like, yeah, she kind of hides a lot of it, and she tries to kind of block herself off as well.
Yeah.
What does Aspen? What does Aspen think?
I completely got lost in the book smart, street smart thing, so I have completely forgotten the original question. I was too busy thinking about him both. I'm so sorry.
Reactions.
What do you think of the reactions of the strange foreign alien objects that was pulled out in front of the NPCs at the Azure Watch?
I mean, she probably gets it. Like, again, walking around, because they'd been walking around for a day or two by then, so they would have seen that these things don't exist in this world. So she gets their reactions, but she's probably not all that bothered, and she'll continue to. Whatever.
All I'm saying is the only person who we have ever shown how anything works around here is the guy that we have given the patent for the foldable chair to.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're business.
And that guy, he's cool. We know he's cool.
Rogers Resta.
Yes.
As I think I said, Jamie and Jess make a good team at selling our universe tech to the Dice and Destiny world.
And what was going through your head, Killian, in terms of seeing these objects?
Go away, leave me alone. I want to go back on my boat.
Let me
Best way I
return
can
to the
describe-
simple life, please.
I want to go back to the sea. Please leave me alone. Why is that on fire?
Hmm. Now I'm going to ask a serious question of you all. Do you think it was wise to pull that equipment out and demonstrate it in front of Varshoven?
Absolutely not.
Uh,
No, probably
I
not.
mean, it probably wasn't wise, but also the thing is, like I said, the only person who you have ever shown how things work is Roger. And the other stuff that we showed, what was it? A collapsible kettle and what a gas lamp? What was it?
It was a
Like a
gas.
camping stove.
A camping stove. Is that there isn't exactly you can't exactly just from seeing it and seeing it turn on. I don't think that they would just immediately be able to work out how it works.
Of
And
course not.
especially not know what materials go into it. Like, sure, they could be like, right, we're trying to recreate this effect. We know vaguely what it looks like from this one guy's memory, so they could try their best to recreate it. But there is no way that they would be able to like perfectly recreate it, or even like try and recreate it for like different things, like if they wanted to use it for whatever other devices they
So-
could come up with.
So one of the spells that was in Varshoven's arsenal was Firebolt. And having seen Jess produce flame like a firebolt but in a constant stream for about 3 minutes whilst the kettle boiled, do you think he might try to recreate that like a bottled firebolt? And do you think if he found the right type of artificer that a bottled firebolt could do an equivalent job?
No.
I mean, but wouldn't a bottled firebolt just be like a lantern or something? Like, surely they already have something similar to like a gas stove. Granted, it might not last as long, but like they'd have like oil lamps and stuff like that. So
Like
I don't
there
think
is a potential
too
for it. However, what truly is the difference between a bottled firebolt and a Molotov cocktail?
yeah.
The difference is the rune is etched onto the inside, and I've actually thought about this quite hard. The rune would actually be etched on the inside of the bottle, and it would be triggered when the cork is popped.
Mm.
And it would last for about a minute as a direct flame from the bottle, or it would last, or it could be used as a single shot for a firebolt, and the spells could be stored to be used at range if needed. But it would only be a single firebolt that would work from that. So I've actually thought about it, and it is the sort of thing that if you were to reveal it to the wrong types of people, they would get ideas. And Varshoven is one of those that would get ideas.
Yeah. But truly, what's he gonna do? Oh no, a bottled firebolt appears. Oh no!
Oh no.
Put water on it? I don't know.
I sense bad things in our future.
I mean, I can
No,
think of
no.
many things
What's a
that
bottled
could be done
firebolt
with that.
gonna do to a bear?
Burn its fur.
What about a second bear?
The bear is very wet. What is it gonna do?
What about a wet bear?
I'm going to say probably a little bit less damage, but you'll still get singed. Right, moving on. So let's move on to the next part of this then, which is into the forest. So it's the very end of the the very beginning, of the next chapter now. We covered a little bit. I'm not going to repeat those questions, but what fundamentally the 2 obsidian shards that have been found, what's your reasoning for why it's reacting with the heat and the lightning? And why do you think it's reacting to you lot at this moment
Guys,
in particular?
I've just had another idea for a theory.
Ooh. Let's hear it.
Sorry, it's what you just said. It's the heat and the lightning. Guys, do you know dragons?
Yep.
You know how... Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine.
It's not fine.
It's fine, you guys.
It's not fine.
We got this. We're just a couple of guys against a dragon. It's fine.
All I'm saying is if that there are multiple elemental reactions with these shards and specifically we've seen so far lightning and fire basically effectively heat is I don't know, there could be multiple elemental stuff. That's all kind of different kinds of damage. Dragons have a lot of different kinds of damage they can do depending on what kind of dragon they are. Anyway, if it all depends, like, oh wow, dragon. I don't know, more dragons. I think dragons could be to do with this, man. I like dragons. But anyway, I think dragons are more involved than we think.
Well, going back...
Theory crafting. I'm theory maxing here.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Game theory.
But anyway, what was the question?
Dragons. Dragons.
Fundamentally,
Dragons.
why do you think it's reacting to you all in particular?
I assume at least because it's the same material as the dice. At least.
That
It's
there is
probably some kind of reaction where it's like the same whether like if there's the same kind of like if it's the same kind of material, it could potentially come from the same kind of areas and the same kind of thing or whatever it is that made both the thing that both of the scales and the dice or whatever. Or it could be like obsidian is just that kind of material. I don't know. But there would be some kind of reaction where it's just like similar meets similar, and then it's just like crazy.
That's one theory. You've given us a couple already, so we're not going to go over those again. But do you think the obsidian wants to get you home? Or do you think it wants you to bring something back home with you?
Oh. That's a good question.
I don't even know how to answer that question. Wow.
It's clear, guys. You have to bring me with you.
Sorry, I was just going to say this.
Yeah. We already floated that idea, didn't we? So.
Yeah, you
no,
did.
Die.
Well, I don't know if that was the chat afterwards or not. So
That was the chat afterwards, and don't worry, you wouldn't just die, Osiris. There would probably be magics that would happen and occur in place that would help you adjust accordingly. Whereas coming to Albion, they don't need to, because actually they'd live longer lives.
Well, I
You've
assume
completely
that
thrown
there is
us.
something that whatever force or the obsidian itself, whatever force is behind it, or there is something that it wants us to do anyway. Because if it wanted to just simply, oh, let's just get these guys back home, then it wouldn't have happened in the first place.
Very
Like
true.
it wouldn't have been there to take us to Albion in the first place.
Very, 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 very true. And with that in mind, keep the shards together or split them up.
I think we need to test. I think we need more of them to test what their reaction is to each other.
That's a very good answer.
I mean, yeah, we've not brought like mine and Lou's ones together yet, so
No.
That's a very, very good answer.
Mum said it's my turn with the obsidian shard.
So let's let's change roles here now. Let's give you all questions to ask me.
Oh boy.
When are we getting a beach episode?
You missed your opportunity. You could have gone to the beach whilst you were at Ironstead.
No.
No, there'll be a beach episode at some point. I'm thoroughly certain of that.
Hell
Just-
yeah.
There are
Just
two things
when are
we
we
need: a beach episode and we need a masquerade episode. Those happen in every D&D game, okay?
When are we leveling up?
What do you mean, when are you leveling up? That's a bit forward, isn't it?
You asked. You did ask. So I was like, I was saying that in jest, right? But
Yes,
you
I
did
know.
We
ask
have
us to
fought
ask you
so many
questions. So
we deserve it. We've been good.
Oh,
Jess's blanket deserves it.
That's
What
true.
kind of questions would you ask DM?
I have a question.
Go for it.
Was it your intention to have that other shard appear? Because I know we got one of the shards from Lou shared from killing the
dire wolf.
that big ass wolf. The dire wolf.
Well, it wasn't a dire wolf. It was. It
Just
looked
wolf.
like a dire wolf, but it was
No, it
just
wasn't.
infected wolf, and the other one was a guardian wolf that had been corrupted by something.
Was it your intention to give us that second shard as well, or was it the dice rolling?
I've actually got a table of which I was rolling against as to an event that would have happened that night. And on a d20, it rolled one of the numbers of shards that's on that table. And it happened to be a heat shard. So, yes, it was RNG. But at the same time, it was also planned that when the heat shard comes up, that would have happened at a camping site. Had I have known in advance that that was going to come up, there might have been a traveller or something en route that warned, that would have said, by the way, there's a really nice camping spot here, but be careful, the ground gets a bit warm. But it didn't come up initially, which is why the traveller coming out of the woods as you were going in didn't give you that information.
I see. I see.
I like the answer. So when can we level? I'm joking.
So there is a random chance that you might find another one in this forest, but why are you suddenly finding them en route up to Silver Lake City? You know, these are questions that you have to ask. What's so special about this route that these are appearing?
Guys, we're
Yes.
gonna fight a dragon.
We're gonna
Got
fight
this.
a dragon.
Gem
Guys.
dragon. It's
And
an obsidian dragon, and it has every single breath weapon.
Yikes.
no.
And
We're
we're
like-
all gonna die.
Yeah, we're level
Wait.
2. We're squishy as hell.
No, you're not going to have to fight a obsidian dragon, at least not anytime soon that you're aware of. And maybe I'm just saying that to get you scared. Or maybe I'm saying that and I'm calling a double bluff. I am not going to tell you which, though.
Oh, we're going to have to fight a red dragon instead.
5 ancient red dragons.
Ancient red dragons.
Just turns out every NPC is actually red dragon.
Alternatively, turning it around, 20 baboons.
I was about to make the exact same joke. Incredible. Yes, baboons.
20 obsidian baboons with
20 obsidian
wait. 20 obsidian baboons with ruby red arses. And yes, their arses are made of rubies.
Hell yeah, write that down.
Write that down.
Write that down,
It's a
create the
prize
stat
war.
block. Write it down and create the stat block. Obsidian
Hell
baboons.
yeah. Obsidian
No,
baboons.
don't play me. I will make them a stat block.
Yes, make them a stat block, make it nice and balanced. You never know, I might bring them out to play. In a
Don't
one
give
shot.
the DM ideas. Don't give him ideas of how to kill us.
I'd do it
Come
in a,
on.
I would do that in a
20
one shot. If I brought them into this story, it would ruin it. So I'm not gonna bring it into the main campaign. Any other questions?
17
Nope.
cavemen. Only Jamie
Okay.
understands what I'm referencing.
So, well, if there's no other questions for me, then let's go into a couple more questions that I have for you before we come out with some lighter ones. Let's look at the obsidian and the theory that you had, which is, what if this obsidian is your only way home, your only route home? What price would you say is too high to pay for getting home?
I don't know. I don't want to sell my soul, so I don't particularly
Same.
want to trade people for it. You know.
So
Yeah.
currently the high bar is set at selling your soul. Any other lower options? Goes to the lowest bidder.
I mean, if the price is some blood, fuck it, Osiris is gonna come with you guys. He's a blood hunter, for fuck's sake. This is his whole thing.
One soul, one soul, one soul. Blood, 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 blood. Any lower on blood? Any lowering on blood? Sorry, I cannot do an auction here. Don't ask me to either. I actually know someone in the D&D Void who is very good at doing auctioneering, and I might call them in as an NPC character cameo.
We're just actively going to seek out an auction now.
I am
Yep, no,
definitely calling them in. I'm definitely calling them in for a cameo.
Here is this nice sword that you can now buy.
Oh dear. Jamie, any thoughts? What price would be too high for getting back home, if you can?
Probably wouldn't want to like kill innocent people. I
So
guess.
sacrifice is too high a price. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, unless again, if they're bad guys, then maybe. But if they were like, here's this random person that has done nothing wrong in their entire life, kill them, I wouldn't really want to do that.
Fair. What do you think the party has already paid in terms of price that you might not have noticed at the time?
I think for Jess murdering somebody.
So for you, innocence.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ooh, I have one for them. Not for Osiris, for them.
Go on.
Time.
Mm.
They've paid time in their
I
own
mean,
world.
yeah, but we've
Yeah.
already been missing for like many days, many days.
2 months now, I think it works out to be.
Mhm.
Yep, pretty
Mhm.
much. So time.
Oh Lord.
Anything else? For Lou, it'd be family. I know that much.
Hmm.
Possibly Jess's job, if she's been missing that long.
That is really what Jess is concerned about, to be fair, so yes.
They're gonna say, oh well, she's probably dead. Well, I'll just have to hire someone else. The NHS is in crisis, man. They need all the staff they can get, and oh well, sucks to be her. If she is alive, we'll take her back. But yeah, probably not.
Okay then, so let's go for some quick fire questions then. So top of your head answers, first thing that comes to your minds as I ask them. Osiris, is the blade a
Yeah.
tool or a relationship?
A relationship.
Feeding it blood, did it feel like solving it or submitting?
Quietening it for now.
Okay. And if the obsidian wants you to become something, what do you think it's shaping you into?
Funny answer, Obsidian Dragon. Actual answer, something that is not entirely human.
True answer, obsidian baboon.
Obsidian baboon.
Okay, Aspen. Do you think the conspiracy board is truth or bait?
I think truth.
If the obsidian chose to show up close to you, which it did, why you?
I have no idea. Pure dumb luck.
Okay, fair enough. And at this current stage, who do you suspect is the real antagonist? Monster, faction, or the mechanism itself?
Ooh, mechanism.
Okay, Jess.
Yes.
Who do you trust the least with the truth of the obsidian and why?
Oh God, does that in our party or in general?
As a whole.
Azure Watch.
Okay.
Because I'm not fully. She's not fully sold on whether they're trustworthy or not.
Fair. If someone suggests a dangerous experiment to trigger teleportation, would you stop them?
How dangerous are we talking? Are we talking life or death or limb loss?
We're talking. It's possible that you could get lost somewhere in the astral sea because the teleportation they're attempting is to get you from Albion back home.
Yeah, I'd stop them.
Okay.
I want guarantees.
What's your character's line in the sand now that people have died?
Oh, that's a really hard question. Obviously, she wouldn't kill innocent people, only if they're criminals and deserve it and are trying to kill them. I think.
Okay. Chris, do you think the world is changing you or revealing what you already were?
I think it's a mix of both. I think that there's a lot of stuff that they didn't really know about themselves, and it is also actively changing how they perceive things and how they are, definitively biologically.
Okay. If power helps you survive but erodes you over time, would you take it?
Yeah.
What scares you more, dying here or going home different?
Dying here.
Okay. And with that, a fan favourite question from previous episodes. If your character could rage quit Albion, what would be the reason? All of you, quick fire round.
Lack of luxury.
Consistent.
I try.
Friends, their friends like dying.
Okay. Fair. Jamie?
If the the I don't know. I feel like her line for rage quitting would be quite slim. But I guess if people get on her nerves too much, she'd just be like, "Fuck this, I'm leaving."
Okay. Fair enough. And if you all woke up back in Lake District tomorrow, what would you do first? Tell people, hide it, or go back to Albion? If you could.
I would claim amnesia. Then I would assume that because we've been missing so long, we'd be taken to like a hotel for questioning and to like, make sure we were safe. Have a hot shower.
Okay. Jamie?
Aspen would want to see her wife and tell people because hell yeah.
Chris?
Chris was at this point. Chris would try and just go back to the farm and just try and live as normally as possible.
Killian? What would Osiris do?
If the roles were reversed,
Yeah.
or if he was in their world.
If you're in their world and you've gone
God.
back with this party, you've woke up in the Lake District, what would you want to do first, considering you're a half-orc?
Fuck it, help Chris on the farm, because
Yeah!
I like that answer.
It's farm time!
Excellent.
Actually, test his blood magic if that still works.
Three of the six party just being on the farm. Hell yeah.
To be fair, you could hide him really well in your barns. No one would really notice like a half orc on your farm. That's a really good answer.
Do you know how tall he is?
And also, Aura owns the farm, and also no one gives a shit of what you look like when you're working on a farm.
True.
And there's always big hats to hide it. Oh dear. Well, I think that's going to be it for tonight. I'd like to say thank you for those that have watched and listened. Just checking back, see if there were any other questions, which unfortunately not tonight. It seems our audience was satisfied with the answers you're giving and the questions you're being asked. So with that, we are going to say good night. Thank you to those that are watching. Thank you to those that have welcomed us to the D&D Void Discord server and actually accommodated our needs as we've migrated in. And for those that are watching, if you want to join up with us and ask the questions in our Discord, listen to the after events from these streams, you are more than welcome to join us. We won't have a link available until next week when we actually come back and run our game. So currently they're sitting camping in the forest, about to wake up. And that is where we'll pick up next week in story. For now, have a good evening, good day, whatever hour it may be for you, and see you next week. Bye.
Bye.